Good day, Lord and ladies. Welcome back to the Black Book. Now, we're doing the investigation. We were at Martha's house. I have to make sure to check stuff.
Martha's izba is richly
The reason being,
towels.
Greetings, Vasilisa.
the reason
dear.
being is that because the game only says when you enter somewhere.
Well, come in. Sit
If
over
we
there.
missed
They
clues,
say you
and
walk the streets at...
Oh no, Vasil, who walks at night at all? I'm too scared.
okay. Okay.
What can you tell me?
Well,
Has he been in the...
Well, he came here before the fort. Anicia is very grateful to him for his work. She gave it to him, right? Other than that,
He refused to take it? That's strange. How long...
This is the
yes,
thing, 'cause
always. The youngsters
I-
can tell you
okay.
more.
Tell me about Anicia.
Oh, the whole... I don't know how. She was born with a fine... You saved her, so she might tell you more.
This is the thing. I don't know how the game has acted because, like, yes, we've gone to all the besides 3 places. I remember doing it, and you were already doing it with us. But the game may not remember it as such. So
A small hunter's izba that is well lit.
Oh, hey, Vasilisa. It's good that we finally have a knower. You've saved
See?
Galina, so maybe you will free us all.
see, like, it's basically reset everything, which is really
you talk-
annoying.
Oh, well, I do the rituals.
Galina is...
Galina, the forest took him, as well as...
I found your tracks in the forest, but it was Galina.
Bite your tongue, Vasya.
Who was it then?
Well, me. I told her not... I left an offer. I want to ask him, but he cares little to a righteous forest.
See, this is the thing, which is that now it's got to basically... See, like, we've already had this thing before, only the song is new. So the game remembers that we've had this information. But we actually have to ask all these
long have
questions
We
again.
used to... Yes, a fine man. Philemon, what? Better go talk to him.
What kind of...
Oh, I didn't talk. She watches everyone from her window. Of that I'm sure.
I must admit, this thing is annoying for me, is because we've done this already. All this has been done. We shouldn't have to go back over this.
The Leshy's domain stands before you.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
heavy
have
tracks.
no difficulty following the tracks left by the Leshy when he took something heavy from Galina. The the Leshy's domain stands before you like a...
And if we go to Martha's house and say it was you who took the stuff...
Martha's izba is richly decorated.
Great. Well, come in. Sit over there, in the corner.
You see, like, we've done that. We know that it's like, even the game is basically telling us this fact. But I have to go for it all because obviously, if we don't, we may not get a good outcome.
The
'cause
scarce Nimzia youth is sitting by an old izba. When you approach, they watch you intently. You sit by a house and dissolve in a deep song.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I love the music in this game, but at the same time, I wish we could do this without having to go over the same ground again
The
and again
scarce
and again.
Nimzia youth is sitting by an old izba. When you
We've heard of you, Vasilisa. I hope you will help Nimzia. No one has been able to so far.
Did you see where...
Marfa walks at... Recently, Galina went. One was placed. It was Leshy. There must have been Galina's second spirit. Galina was her... But quietly, Galina was crying afterwards. She told
yes.
Have any of you seen a... Well, don't be scared.
one of the girls, she says, Yefim was asking the Leshy to free Nimzia and bring the missing people back.
What's with this...
His mouse, we
come on.
don't want to be taken by Well, she's a fine girl. Where else can Philemon does is right. It used to be that we can't tell you anything about the hunter. We
Right here.
don't quite...
So that's done. Man, we wasted 4 minutes doing this already. We have to
Martha's
get this.
izba
We have to get
is
this done
richly
out of the way.
Greetings, Vasilisa. Well, come in. Sit over there.
Okay. Yeah, we had to get this done out of the way, because otherwise we'd be stuck in this infinite blinking loop.
The herbalist's
Right.
house smells like healing herbs.
Ah, greetings. I don't care where this village is. In a fog or in... Can you tell me about... I don't know. Looks like Are you friends with... Not so recently, That happens. God knows where she was. You could ask a shepherd about
Okay.
her. He leads the cattle to graze in the... Well, my neighbor. She's young. They say the hunters are close. Oh no, the hunter might go dancing with him. What do you
Come
know?
on.
What do I know? What else? A quarrelsome woman.
Okay, so, we're back at the herb section again. Let's see, is there anything we ought to get? I will grab a bit more of these basic healing stuff. These are actually nice for removing enemies' armor. A couple of those to get rid of poisons and the like. Actually, we don't need that one. We just sewed one. Okay. I would take a couple of these. Removing positive status effects from the enemy is quite powerful. Okay. Rage. Waste free on the enemy. That's actually quite nice. You're going to have that because not going to drink that. We're immune to waste, it's not too bad. I will grab a couple of those. Okay. So that's all the herbs we need. Now we can go to the places that we haven't been. Anasia's mansion. Years ago, this mansion was home to a great number of people. Now only Anasia lives there. Right here.
Like many other houses in the village, Anisia's izba is bent because of the wildly growing forest. You knock at the door, and your acquaintance opens it for you.
You again, witch. Ugh. I'm looking forward to never seeing you, you damn vulture! Well, what do you need?
We're not going to accuse her. Because in the law that we have, Leslie don't have eyebrows. And she's very clearly got eyebrows.
You him? He's a fool. I bet he's the reason the village got stolen. I bet he wrote his little charter wrong, and the Leshy was only too glad to grab it all. Phew, godless coldoons. That girl's a hypocrite. Wants everyone to like her. But she's got a mind of her own. She's gonna give us trouble. Ah, another curse maker. This one is worse than all the rest. His mug is all rotten. Just like yours. He does nothing. Only feeds here for free. I know exactly how these Noah shepherds do their work. The wolves watch the animals instead of him. He's only dilly-dallying.
Cattle grazing wolves. If a Khaldun was hired as a shepherd, he might fool around quite a bit. You can understand animal languages. There once was one such Khaldun next village over, one behind Dry Gully. He made a deal with Alessi for the first grazing. Alessi gave him some wolves, ordinary kind, not werewolves. The wolves guarded the cattle while the Khaldun was resting in the shade of a tree. Facts. Gift to the shepherd.
Marfa says you gifted a belt to Philemon.
I did, and he didn't take it. Still walks in his red one, damn him. This Susietka was smothering me all night. Looks like I made a bad belt. Although, I did it with proper permanent patterns. Why am I telling you this? A witch won't understand. You only want to walk around bareheaded. Ooh.
The Susietka didn't get angry for nothing. I should speak to him. They say that Galina that went missing was your daughter-in-law, right?
That's none of your business. You lousy witch! Get lost!
Anicia pushes you away from the door and slams it shut in your face.
Okay.
Like many other houses in the village, Anicia's Izba
Let's
is
find the
bent
success
because of
code.
the wildly growing forest. You sneak under the branch through the bent gates, whisper the secret words, and notice a black, furry shadow in the far corner of the yard.
Yuck! And nowhere, Khaldoons. I hate you kind. What stench?
Wait, kind host. I want to ask you.
Don't you try throwing sand in my eyes. I feel evil emanating from you. Like from the belt my master wanted to trade. Good thing he didn't trade it. All covered in evil markings. Doesn't have eyebrows. I punish her and punish you.
You notice the shadows grow darker in the corners. The Susiedko is not alone here.
So the person who came to trade with the belt didn't have eyebrows. Interesting. Okay. We'll put weakness on these two, and yeah, we'll throw down a waste on that one. We'll probably take a little damage, but we should be okay. It hits us with paralysis, so we can't use herbs for 7 turns. Take a little bit of damage, it's fine. This guy's going to be a pain, but we can actually deal with him without too much trouble. We'll go 2 of those up. Get 8 for every one there, so that's fine. We'll do a chunk of damage to that one. There we go, nice and armored up. That one's dead. We can kill this one off this turn. Okay. Weakness, waste. Power that up. Yeah, I'll throw down some bad blood. Won't kill him, unfortunately. He's still got to get a good hit off against us. But we can heal relatively straightforwardly without any consequences. Okay. Yeah, paralysis again. Don't really worry about that. That thing's dead. Double curse on you. And we'll just heal ourselves all the way up. Can't use herbs, not an issue. and then we'll just throw the Devil Curse card at him that we know is in our inventory. And that blew him to pieces. Right, we'll grab that one just to get one for the set. So the clue we got from this house was that the person that came here that made us escape.
Like many other houses in the village,
yes.
Anisia's Izba is bent because of the wildly...
You again, witch. I'm looking forward to... Well, what do you need?
Okay, so she's got no new facts. We're not going to accuse her. Basically, the person that came to the house had no eyebrows, which basically made the Susette go really angry and defensive. So I'm pretty 100% sure it's the shepherd.
Galina is doing well. She's sitting at the table and is already busy doing housework. You search the yard and notice the tracks the village...
Yeah, we've done that. We know what's going on. Martha basically has been going around stealing stuff from the houses.
Galina is doing well. She's sitting at the table and is...
Vasilisa, I don't know how to thank you. You'll always be welcome in my house. Well, come in. Sit here, under the icons.
This woman came to me, Anisia Ivanovna.
Oh, Lord help me. Even the Leshy won't take that woman. I know. I used to be her daughter-in-law. We're friends. I love her. She used to bring me and my husband lots of gifts, especially after our village got closed. She's so kind. He's friends with the shepherd. I bet they both talk to the Leshy. But I don't believe they are to blame for the missing people. They are fine men.
Do you remember the time when the Master of the Forest took you? What did he look like?
My memory is foggy, Vasilisa. I can hardly remember any of it.
Did he look like anyone from the village?
No, he was dark, as if made of wood, covered in moss and mushrooms. He nearly crushed me with those roots. God help me.
Galina starts to sob.
I remember one thing he told me. I can't pray.
Not allowed to pray. This happened just the other day. A man walked into a pot house. He was dressed in quite well goatskin boots, red shirt, sheepskin coat and all, like a trader or a clerk of some kind from St. Petersburg. He opened his purse, which was filled with countless coins. He also brought his brother and mother with him, and said they were looking to marry the host's daughter. They struck a deal. However, he said, I don't need anything of yours except for the girl. The girl disappeared from her house and returned 6 weeks later to give her cross to her father. She told him she was living in prosperity, but she was not allowed to pray. Evil spirits in the Izba.
They say the Leshy came to you when he held you in the roots.
God save us. My life is not enough for him. He wants to curse my household as well.
How so?
How? Why else would he take all my copper dishes? It was all that was left from my husband. And it's still heavy. I saw the trail leading into the woods. The damned chort. I'd rather be dead.
Galina whimpers.
Yeah, that's Martha taking her stuff when else he's dead.
What kind of man was he?
A good one, loving, so unlike his mother, Anisia. When he died, she blamed me, said I cursed him.
Did you argue?
We had some disagreements, but I don't think she cursed me. I don't remember any such thing.
You're Anisia's daughter-in-law?
I was. An absurd life that was. Well, it's a sin to complain. We all live as we can. My husband was taken from me by the forest. He died. God rest his soul.
Okay. Bales of hay. They managed to gather some hay. They say I can find the shepherd here.
The shepherd is sitting by the haystack, hitting his poo drum with sticks. Fog surrounds him, covering everything with slippery moisture. You smell mold and mushrooms.
Look close at the shepherd.
Your blood runs cold. He wears his boots on the wrong feet, and the footwear is too thin at the ankles.
From one knower to another, I wish you well.
And he's got no eyebrows. Oh, who's hiding the eyebrows?
They say Yefim the Hunter communicates with the Leshy. Could he have set up these disappearances?
No way. I was writing charters too, but who wants to curse? He isn't to blame. Well, I only do what needs to be done. Everyone likes Martha. She treats many of us to gifts, but I don't like her very much. The woman has a mind of her own. That's all right. I'll have a chat with her when the time comes. Oh, a quarrelsome woman. She's the one who cursed everyone, that's what I think. His son was Galina's husband, so she herself cursed him. Who else?
Yeah, like, if you read between the lines of his dialogue, he's very sinister.
Have you ever seen Marfa when you brought the cattle for grazing in the evening?
I have, yes. But I haven't seen where she went. Maybe the youngsters saw it.
You came to Nimzia after the forest master hid it, right?
Yes, I was unlucky. The Leshy caught me. Doesn't seem that I asked for an invitation when I entered his domain.
What were you doing before this?
I was a worker. My father was old and couldn't support me. I made my own way.
Shepherds also communicate with Leshy. He watches after the animals for you. Did he give you any helpers?
Nah, just some silly things. I don't measure up to you, Khaldoons. I do everything by myself. It's scary dealing with the forest, everyone says so. I need to look after the cattle. They won't punish some icon, but they will punish me if anything happens.
Cattle grazing and foddering provisions in northern Precamea was extremely important. Summers were short, but the cattle had to gain weight and have enough fodder to last until next summer. The landscape and the amount of livestock in a herd defined the place and peculiarities of grazing. If the place was enclosed, a shepherd was not necessary. The cattle were left with God, and it was believed that St. Nicholas watched over them. In case of a cow or sheep disappearing, the one who got punished was his icon. It was carried to the stables and whipped with reins. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's the Leshy. I'm not going to accuse him out here in case we start a fight. I'll accuse him in town. I think that's everything. Don't think we have any outstanding clues or anything like that left over.
The scarce Nimzia youth is sitting by an old izba.
We've heard of you, Vasilisa. I hope you will help Nimzia. No one has been able...
Do one quick last sweep.
Like many other houses in the village, Anisia's is...
You again, witch. I'm looking. Well, what do you need?
Okay. Just do one final sweep to make sure we have everything, and then we'll basically go to the center of the town square and do that.
A small hunter's izba that is well lived in.
Oh, hey, Vasilisa! It's good that we finally have a knower. You've saved...
Okay.
Marfa's izba is richly decorated. Towels...
Greetings, Vasilisa. Well, come in. Sit over there.
Okay, I'm pretty much sure at this point we've got everything. And then we'll go do the accusing, and then we can press
Galina
forward.
Is doing well. She's sitting at the table, and is all...
Vasilisa, you'll always be welcome in my house. Well...
Okay, so yeah, no one has any more clues. Rightio.
The herbalist's house smells like healing herbs.
Ah, greeting. I don't care where this village is.
Yeah, okay. So, village center, off we go.
Looks like the village was built around barns. Makes it easier for the villagers to take grain and flour for their everyday needs. Here is where public hearings take place. It's quiet here now, except for the sounds of fir trees, nudging their dead relatives with furry branches.
Also, one of the reasons that you have a village built around barns is that in case the barns catch fire or you're trying to protect your supplies, it's harder for people to get at the barns. That's why historically you used to, if you were in an area which was dangerous, you used to build your supply warehouse or your barns in the middle of the settlement because it meant they were the most secure. Right, let's gather the people.
You tell a couple of kids to gather the village. The crowd soon gathers.
Why are you gathering here? To listen to that damned witch? Nonsense.
Hold on. Why should we leave at the mercy of the Leshy?
The peasants mumble in approval. You feel uneasy from dozens of eyes looking at you with a mix of expectation, contempt, and hope.
It's only recently that I've come to your village. It's clear that something is wrong here, and prayers won't help. I went searching for Galina.
You saved her. Thank you, Vasilisa.
You hear murmurs of approval from the crowd, as well as cries of gratitude.
The forest master is the one to blame. And he's hiding here, among you. That's why it's so easy for him to kidnap people. And I know who is to blame. They're waiting for what I say. Who among them is a Leshy?
It's not new fact. The hunter, yes, not the hunter. I don't say why it's like new fact the hunter. No, it's not the hunter. It's not Anastasia either. It's the shepherd. We know it's the shepherd.
The forest master lives among you. That's why you can't beat back the trees. That's why people go missing so often. Your shepherd, Philemon, with no eyebrows and with the Leshy's belt, is waiting for you to curse each other.
You search the crowd and see that the shepherd is here. A couple of men grab him by his belt and drag him to the center of the crowd. Philemon tries to fight, but then grows soft. You take the book and get ready to bind him with zagavers, but he raises his eyes, and you see that they have turned black. The changeling Leshy easily shrugs off his captors. A strong wind picks up, and the shepherd's figure stretches out, becomes transparent, and vanishes in the swirling fog. Otherworldly laughter is heard from the forest. The frightened villagers scatter to their homes. You clutch your book tighter and run after the Leshy.
Wait, Vasilisa. I saw everything. Still can't believe my eyes. I want to help. Philemon, run that way. I may help you with something else. There is this thing.
Talk faster. I don't need you in the woods. You will only get yourself killed.
A wonder-working icon will come in handy to you. I blamed God for all of this, wanted to punish him, and I hid it nearby.
I will take, if I have time.
And here we go, folks. There's cool pool. Cool pool? Cool pool. Cast a shepherd, let's go. Lunvador Fields. From the Permian language, it translates as the field to the southern side of the day. Sorry, folks. Couldn't hit the pause button in time and I almost sneezed into my microphone. That was not going to be a pleasant thing.
You step onto a southern Nemzia field. Suddenly, your way is blocked by evil spirits. These must be Philemon's helpers.
Okay, what do we got? Ooh, two really nasty guys. Right. I haven't got a lot of ways to block this. Let's check the herbs. Damage absorption, perhaps. Remove positive things, because he's going to get health from that. They'll both get it. Yeah, I need to get rid of that for a start. Need to burn down that guy as fast as possible. Neither of these will work. Just had to do enough damage to him as possible, I think, this time around. Yeah. Can't waste those cards. Wait, he's got Fierce. That's going to be trouble. Now I have to heal. It's okay, I got healing stuff, but... yeah, he's going to armor up and he's going to get vampirism back on himself. Okay. Let's heal up a bit. He got rid of his... no, he's still got waste. Weakness on him. Let's just have to keep hitting at him with as much damage as we can. Okay. Because that vampirism is going to be problematic. Yeah, he's coming out swinging. So we need to double his curse. He's going to die from the poison, so we don't need to worry about him. Though if we take any damage from him, it's going to be painful because he'll heal up. Okay. And none of my get rid of negative status effect stuff is coming in. I may have to use one of these to absorb damage absorption. I don't want to, because they're really hard to get hold of. But I can't afford not to do it. There's no point just doing that for 6, because I won't do a ton of damage to him. I'd rather just hit him normally. Every enemy with curse. It's not great, I'm not going to lie. Right, so we basically get damage from that. He's going to die, but we need to get rid of his ability. We need to get rid of the negative status effect on us. Yeah, remove negative status effect. And we'll do that. He died. Okay, now we've got a good chunk of damage against him. Well, we will next turn. He's armoured up right now. Have that coming out. That should do it. Okay, so now he can't get through our armor, which is good because I remember now that armor gives us less armor because obviously of the curse that we have ongoing, and this should kill him off. There we go. Grab one of those. We're not putting him in the deck, we're just adding him to our collection. And here's the Hunter's Staff, we'll quickly grab that.
On an old stump covered with mushrooms, you find an icon the hunter was telling you about. The frame has begun to rot, and the icon itself has gunshot marks on it. The face of the saint looks at you with reproach, as if it was you who shot it. You quickly hide the icon in the bag.
Reduces your torment by torch by 2. Okay. basically they remove. If we have that equipped, it stops us from being punished by our shorts if we haven't got them equipped, which is okay. Most of these ones don't really do a lot, but it could be useful. And then we'll hit loud forests.
The raven appears, as if out of nowhere. It lands on an old cross and stares at you. The forest rustles around you. The wind disperses the fog, and for the first time in a while, you see the night sky. The raven's eyes flash red in the forest darkness.
It turned out to be a shepherd, not a mother-in-law, not a plowman. Carr, carr. It's good that you found him. It will be easier to defeat him. He's afraid of you.
Yes, but where is he? How will we find him in the forest?
We've already tracked down Philemon. He went to that tree where Galena was found. Found! Turns out he has a secret underground lair there. All of those who were kidnapped are held there. There!
Do you think he'll uncover Nimzia?
He will! He will! You won't leave him no choice. You have the book. Black! Black!
You know about it?
I guessed it, sensed it, knew it from the start. The wind at the crossroads told me. Carr, carr.
How do we find the entrance to the lair?
I know where it is. I know. I'll show. Go to Kulpa. Carr, carr.
Those who were kidnapped, are they alive?
Not alive and not dead. Our father sometimes took people, but he let them go later. Later! Someone will pray for them or say a holy word, and then he let them go. This one keeps their soul, feeds on them. For him, their souls are like sugar. Carr, carr.
Okay, so the current Leshy, is basically using them like batteries to sustain himself. Okay. Don't say bless you. A girl named Dusia lives here. Once he was lost for a week. Later, she learned to stay with the Leshy and was fed pine cones. One thinks they eat pies and cakes. One thinks they eat pies and cakes, but they're actually being fed pine cones. Leslie sometimes switches out a person for another. This happened with a certain wife. Her husband waited for her a long time, grew tired of waiting and decided to remarry. Leslie asked the wife he had kidnapped, "Do you want to visit your husband's wedding? You may go. If anyone sneezes, don't say bless you." She came to the wedding, sat on top of the stove, and no one noticed her. Someone sneezed and she forgot herself and muttered bless you. She immediately discovered and the evil spirit released her. Raven.
What kind of chort are you? Maybe you're leading me into a trap.
You don't know who I am?
What is this strange bird that showed up at the crossroads? Was it this raven?
It showed up when we did the ritual. I'm gonna bet it's basically one of the Lessie's children. That's my money, or basically a servant of the Lessie.
You showed up at the crossroads. Nature listens to you, and you know the forest so well that you can follow Philemon. You're also a Leshy.
Ah, you guessed it. Carr, carr. My name is Cornish. I'm a Leshy's son, as well as Philemon. He's my brother. He's been hiding from me for a long time, sucking the life out of Nimzia, plucking its villagers. I couldn't track him while he was in a human form, but you helped me. Yes, you did. It is I who dragged you here from Balut. It's my figure you saw in the forest. My presence. Carr, carr.
You're the reason I'm trapped here.
It's not so simple. No, I was lured by the book. It led me to you. I'll help you. Only my father can break the seal on this book, and you won't find him without me. No.
All right. Lead me to your brother.
Go to Kulpu. I will wait for you there.
The sound of wings reverberates through the old branches when the raven takes off from the old tomb. You gaze with sorrow at the crooked cross. Who was buried here, and why? Does anyone remember this old grave and the dead man within? This man was also buried outside the churchyard. These uneasy thoughts stay with you even after the grave is far behind you.
Okay. Gizzle field. When you drink a lot of water, they call it guzzling. So what kind of field is it? One that drinks a lot.
Your bast shoe sinks into the freezing sludge. You have arrived at a flooded glade. After finding an old path made of rotten planks, you make it closer to your goal, but feel something wrong and stop halfway into the swamp. It looks like Philemon's chorts have set an ambush ahead. You look around. There's a man standing by the fringe of the forest, but you can't make out his face.
And I think this is where we end it for the day, folks. Sorry that the first 5 to 7 minutes of the video was just rushing around covering stuff we'd already done, but this is the nature of the game, unfortunately. Because it saves when you enter an area, it means that a lot of your progress gets lost on longer things, which is why I try and complete each area and leave so we can get a save in place. I've been Cornish-knight, this has been Black Book, and I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye, folks.